What do you expect the next couple of months to be like once he's in?
Well, look, he has an opportunity here to try to unite the country after a huge victory. And this is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz and the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line, and we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
I think we have to listen to everybody, actually. I think that I've been saying this whole time, I think the polls did not have it right? Like the spread in some of these battleground states are a little larger than some, not as close as we thought it was going to be. We thought we were going to be counting. I mean, it hasn't been called yet, but the likelihood that he gets to 270 is highly probable. The people who voted for Kamala Harris are struggling too. They're feeling ignored too. A Republican's pain is no greater than less than a Democratic's pain. And we have a moment now where, and I'm not saying you're doing this, we can point and be like, you're the loser, I told you so. Or we can do what Donald Trump said, which I believe I have the right to feel skeptical of, that he wants to unify this country. Actions speak louder than words.
That's the opposite of what I'm saying. And I think for Van and for you and for Axe, I mean, I've been on the losing side of tough nights here and in my professional life. It's not easy to lose a race like this. One of my most crushing nights was 2012. I know it was one of your best, and one of your best because we were there in the same state together. And so I understand, and I do think that the new president has a responsibility to make the whole country feel like they can be part of a more optimistic future. I do think the way this campaign was run was basically on the Democrats thought there were enough people who hated Trump or were willing to fear him to win the race. And it turns out there's more to being president than simply not being Donald Trump in the eyes of the American people. I'm a little worried about how Democrats are going to react. They've been told Trump is a modern-day Hitler, or at least he's a fascist. And now Kamala Harris, I suspect, is going to have to wake up in the morning and concede to that person. And then she's going to have to go to the Senate and certify the election. And
which she will do.
She'll do that.
And I'm a little concerned about an election in which half the country was conditioned to believe that the person who just won the national popular vote is going to be a dictator, eliminate the Constitution, and create a bloodbath, and so on and so forth. So
can I say something about that?
We have to reckon with that in the aftermath of that argument.
The thing I think is most important to remember is the people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats. They were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats. They were Republicans who worked for him. And so it's not just these elite Democrats over here, poisoning the well. You had a pretty broad consensus from the from Chomsky to the Cheneys, that was very, very concerned and remains concerned. And so I think it's not just on us to stop calling names. I think it's up to him to, as Allison said, with deeds show that he's not going to be those things.
Well, you said it. It's not just the elite Democrats. It was just the elites.
I don't think
And when I look,
so you just dismiss all criticism of Trump as just elites.
I'm not dismissing it, but I'm just, how do you look at these results and not conclude that the non-elite portion of this country basically said, we've had enough? And whether that was enough on the economy or enough on immigration or enough of what you did to us during COVID or enough of whatever. And so that's always been the appeal of Trump, right? Is that, you all are being misled by the elites, the experts, the institutions, whatever. And so he's never going to get along with the elites. And he didn't get along with them in this election. And it looks like the